Hello and welcome to another part of this chapter, simplex method. We have already solved a maximization problem and a minimization problem by using the simplex method. Now in this part we shall solve one more problem by using simplex method. Let us consider this problem: maximize z equal to 2x1 plus 2x2 subject to two constraint minus x1 plus x2 less equal to 1 and minus x1 plus 2x2 less equal to 4, where x1 and x2 both are non-negative. So this is the given problem. Now we shall solve this problem again by using the simplex method. Now since both the inequalities are less equal to type, so we have to add slack variables on the left hand side of the constraint to convert the inequalities into equalities. So for the first constraint, let us assume that we add the slack variable x3, then the inequality becomes minus x1 plus x2 plus the slack variable x3 equal to 1. And for the second constraint, we add one more slack variable, suppose x4, so that it becomes equal to 4, where x1, x2, x3, x4 all are non-negative. And we rewrite the objective function max z. Now this becomes 2x1 plus 2x2 plus 0 into x3, the slack variable, and plus 0 into x4, the second slack variable. Now this is the problem. We have to maximize z subject to these two equations. Now here two constraints are given, so we shall select two basic vectors, and we know that we shall select the basis vectors in such a manner that these are unit vectors. So here we find that the third vector is unit vector 1 0 and the fourth vector is unit vector 0 1. So we shall select a3 and a4 as initial basic vectors. So we can write the cost vector as c equal to 2 2 0 0. So this is the cost vector, and these are the coefficient vectors. a1, this is minus 1 minus 1, a2 that will be 1 2, and a3 equal to 1 0 and a4 equal to 0 1. And also this vector 1 4, this is the b vector. So now we start the solution by constructing the simplex table. So we have constructed the initial part of the simplex table. This is the cost vector 2 2 0 0. These four are the coefficient vector a1 a2 a3 a4, and this is the v vector 1 4. And here we shall write the basic vectors, and as I have said that we shall select the initial basis as a3 and a4. So these two are our initial basic vectors. So these two are our initial basis vectors, and these are the cost values corresponding to the basis vectors. So the cost value of a3 is 0 and cost value of a4 is 0. Next we shall find all the values of zj minus cj to check for the optimality condition. We know that if we find that all the values of zj minus cj these are non-negative, then the condition is optimal. Now if we find this value, then by the formula it will be 0 into 1 plus 0 into 4, so it is 0. Now we find this value, this is 0 into minus 1 plus 0 into minus 1 minus 2, which is minus 2. Next value, this one, 0 into 1 plus 0 into 2 minus 2, which is again minus 2. This one, 0 into 1 plus 0 into 0 minus 0, which is 0. And finally this one, 0 into 0 plus 0 into 1 minus 0, so it is 0. Now here we find that the optimality condition is not satisfied, because there are two values of zj minus cj which are not positive or non-negative. So there are two values which are negative. So the optimality condition is not satisfied. So this initial solution is not optimal. So we have to modify this solution to get the optimum solution. Okay, for that we have to select the most negative value of Zj minus Cj. Now here we find that both the negative values are same. So we can select any one of the negative values. Now since both the values are same, so we can take any value. As for example, if we select this value, so this value corresponding to the vector a1. So a1 will be the vector that will enter the basis. Next we have to determine which vector will leave the basis. For that we have to find the mean ratio, and to find the mean ratio we have to find some ratios, and we know that the ratios can be found by dividing this v vector by the coefficient vector. So the mean ratios will be 1 by minus 1 and 4 by minus 1. But we know that we shall select those ratios which are non-negative and finite. Here we find that both the ratios are negative. So there does not exist any ratio which are non-negative and finite. So in that case the problem is said to have unbounded solution. So remember that if we find that all the ratios are either negative or infinitive, then the problem has unbounded solution. So here we find that if we select this value, then the problem has unbounded solution. Now the question is, if we select this value, then will the problem have finite solution? So let us check. Now theoretically, if we select this value, then also we shall find that the problem has unbounded solution. So let us check. If we select this value as the minimum value, then this vector a2 will enter the basis, and we have to find the vector which will leave the basis. For that we shall find the ratio. The first ratio will be v vector by the coefficient vector. So for this column the first ratio will be 1 by 1, which is 1, and the second ratio is 4 by 2, which is 2. So out of these two, 1 is minimum, so this is the mean ratio, and this ratio corresponds to the vector a3. So in the next set, the vector a3 will be replaced by the vector a2. So the vector a2 will enter the basis and the vector a3 will leave the basis. Now we shall construct the next part of this table. Now since the vector a3 is replaced by a2, so here we write a2 and this is a4, and the corresponding cost values. Now the cost value of a2 is 2 and cost value of a4 is 0. Now we find the key element. We know that the key element can be found if we consider this column and this row. So we find that at the intersection of this row and this column, this 1 is the key element. So in the next step we have to make the key element as 1 and all the remaining elements of this column as 0. Now this key element is already 1, so no need to change this row. So we shall keep this row as it is. So we write the elements of this row: 1, minus 1, 1, 1, 0. Since the key element is already 1, so no need to change this row. Next we shall make this element 0 by using this key element. For that we shall use one row operation. Now we can easily find that if we use this row operation, R2 star equal to R2 minus 2R1. So R2 star is equal to R2 minus 2R1, then this element will become 0. So if we apply this row operation on this row, then the elements of this row become, for this element it will be 2 minus 2 into 1, 0. Now this element, it will be 4 minus 2 into 1. So 4 minus 2 is 2. For this element, it will be minus 1 minus 2 into minus 1. So minus 1 plus 2, that is plus 1. For this element it will be 0 minus 2 into 1, so it is minus 2. And finally for this element it will be 1 minus 2 into 0, which is 1. So we have obtained all the values in this second row. Now we shall find Zj minus Cj. For that, the first value is 2 into 1 plus 0 into 2. So 2 plus 0 is 2. Now this value, this is equal to 2 into minus 1 plus 0 into 1 minus 2. So minus 2 minus 2, that is minus 4. This will be 2 into 1 plus 0 into 0 minus 2, which is 0. Now this will be 2 into 1 plus 0 into minus 2 minus 0, which is 2. And this will be 2 into 0 plus 0 into 1 minus 0, which is 0. So we have computed all the values of Zj minus Cj. Now here we find that there is one value which is negative. So again the solution is not optimum. So this solution is not optimum. So we have to modify the solution to get the optimal solution. So since there is only one negative value, so we select this value. That means the vector a1 will enter the basis. Next we have to determine which vector will leave the basis. For that we have to compute the ratios from which we shall find the mean ratio. So if we compute the first ratio, we find that it is 2 by minus 1, which is minus 2. And we know that we will not take the ratios which are negative or infinite. So we shall not take this ratio. The next ratio will be 2 by 1. So 2 by 1, which is 2. So this is the only ratio because the first one was negative. So since this is the only ratio, so automatically this is the mean ratio. That means the vector a4 will leave the basis. And if we consider this row and this column, then this element is the key element. So in the next step we have to make this key element as 1 and all the elements in this column as 0. Now in the next step the vector a4 is replaced by a1. So the new set of basic vectors are a2 and a1. Corresponding cost values are 2 and 2, which can be found here. Now since this key element is already 1, so no need to change these elements in this row. So we shall keep all the elements in this row as it is. So these elements are 2, 1, 0, minus 2, 1. Next we shall make this element 0 by using this key element. And it is easy to note that if we use this row operation, R1 star equal to R1 plus R2, then this element will become 0. So if we apply this row operation on the first row, then this element will be 0. This will be 1 plus 2 equal to 3. This will be 1 plus 0 equal to 1. And this will be 1 plus minus 2, which is minus 1. It is 0 plus 1, which is 1. Now we find Zj minus Cj. Now this will be 2 into 3 plus 2 into 2, 6 plus 4, which is 10. This will be 2 into 0 plus 2 into 1 minus 2, which is 0. This will be 2 into 1 plus 2 into 0 minus 2. So 2 minus 2, 0. This will be 2 into minus 1 plus 2 into minus 2 minus 0. So minus 2 plus minus 4. So it is minus 6. And finally this one, 2 into 1 plus 2 into 1 minus 0. So 2 plus 2, 4 minus 0. So it is 4. If we check the values of Zj minus Cj, then we find that there is one value of Zj minus Cj which is negative. So again the solution is not optimal. So in that case we have to select this element. That means the vector a3 will again enter the basis. But to find out which vector will leave the basis, we have to find the mean ratio, and for that we have to find the ratios. Now here we find that the first ratio will be 3 by minus 1, which is minus 3, but we will not take the negative ratio, so this ratio cannot be found. The next ratio is 2 by minus 2, which is again minus 1, and which is again negative, so we will not select this ratio either, so this ratio again cannot be found. So here we find that no mean ratio exists. If we face this condition, then the only conclusion is that the problem has unbounded solution. So the problem has unbounded. This is the only conclusion can be made from this problem. Now the same conclusion can be made from the first step of the table. If we select this minus 2 as the minimum element instead of this minus 2, then from the first table we would have found that both the ratios are negative. From here we can easily conclude that the problem has unbounded solution. But here instead of this element we have selected this element, and again ultimately we have found that the problem has unbounded solution, because in this step the mean ratio does not exist. So anyway, the problem has unbounded solution. So remember that if we find that the mean ratio does not exist, that means the problem has unbounded solution. In this part we have solved a linear programming problem which has unbounded solution. So with this we complete this part. In the next part we shall discuss about Big M method to solve linear programming problem. So see you in the next part. Until then, thanks for watching.